Good morning, everybody. We interrupt this knife making channel for alright, while I'm waiting, I've got some knives in the tempering oven. Now that's going to take an hour or two to get that done, and then I can get on finishing up. There's 3 more to be finished up, and I've got about half a day to work today. I've got something else to do this afternoon. First off, Mama says she is not going to do any cooking videos until I make a new spice rack deal for her in the kitchen. Now, I told her I would make her one about not long ago. I think 3 years, 4 years, something like that. So, I'm going to get to it. It won't take long. Nothing fancy and complicated, just a little. And the one she's got in there is not big enough. It's full. So I'm going to use some walnut, and this is what same thing I use for knife handles. I got this from my buddy, Mr. Stedhomer. Come from Ohio. And I've got take it over to the table saw and do some ripping down, get all my pieces like I want them, and I will just attach them with some wood screws and glue. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing y'all how to do this, but when I go to putting it together, I will. Now, I'm just going to the table saw, cut them to length, and I'll still have a good chunk that I can use for handles. And I have plenty more of this. And if I run out, I know where I can get plenty more. Maybe. So, alright, spice rack build for Mommas Kitchen coming up. Alright, got all my pieces roughly laid out. Now what I'm going to do is start laying out the lines for the sides. Now the insides will be this lighter color. Got some nice color out here. Move down here a little bit. Don't see what I'm doing. Now we're going to square these two up. Got them all cut the same length. Right there. I'm going to put the bottom shelf, let me get a rule, about 1/4 inch up, so the whole shelf's not sitting on the counter in there. Let's see, let's get our inches side here. We'll mark us a line about 1/4 inch. Well, it's cold out here, y'all. My fingers are not wanting to cooperate. Right there. There we go. Now the bottom shelf will be, move these out of the way. The bottom shelf will go in just like that, if you can see that. Now we line this one up, we're going to make us a line over here. I'll show you why I'm doing that here in a minute. Alright, just like that. Now when I get ready to glue it up, I'm going to secure them with 1 screw in each shelf, which will be more than plenty of strength, and some glue. So I'm going to drill a pilot hole here from the inside on both of these. That'll make sure I'm in the center when I go from the opposite side to put the screw in. I'll countersink a hole and fill that hole with a wood dowel. Now this is an oak dowel, the closest thing I had to match the color. But we're not too concerned about that. It's more important to me and Mama that it works good instead of looking good, which it'll look good anyway. But rustic homemade furniture, that's what it is. Let's see, my line's a little off here. Let me correct that right quick. There we go. That'll work. Alright, before I drill these holes, I'm going to lay out all the lines. And I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Now I'm going to drill the pilot holes for the screws. This is the 1/8 inch drill bit. And none of this has to be precise unless you just want it that way. And just eyeball the center where the shelves are going to be. I've already had a question about this vise here, and that's the same one that's always been there. It was time to put new leather in there, and when I did, I had to take it apart. So I just gave it a fresh paint job, painted it black, because I don't like blue tools. That's what that is. Same thing. I got off center on that one. Now I'm going to a 3-inch spade bit. That's a 3-inch dowel. 3/8. We use a spade bit because it drills a flatter hole in the bottom. And this is the inside. Just flip it over. Now all this dowel pin is going to do is cover the screws so you don't see those. And we'll do this one. Now for something like this, you can use any kind of wood you want to, or any kind you have. Now this one is walnut because I have it. And it's very nice stuff. Alright, there we go. We're just about ready to put it together. Let me get the glue out, make sure I got everything oriented properly. And we're going to do it this way so I can get to the screws. Of course, I'll clamp it all up together. Move that in out of the way. And I'll be right back. Alright, let's get this thing glued up right quick. Clamped up. Take some wood glue and put on the joints here. Now I've got about 30 minutes for this before this glue starts setting up. We have to work pretty quickly here. I like to take a brush and spread it. Doesn't take a lot. You walk around this side, same thing, just spread it out with a little brush. Just like that. And a little hint on your glue. I buy wood glue by the gallon. Much cheaper that way. If that looks like a mustard and ketchup bottle you get from the dollar store for $1, because that's what it is. It's just an easy way to store it. Alright, we're going to line them up pretty close. Alright, let's move over here so you can see the whole picture here. Alright, that's close. Now we'll put the clamps on there. Hold everything sort of still for just a minute. This one up here so we can get to the screw hole. Now, centering this up with our lines that we drew earlier. Whoop. And just put another clamp right here. This bottom one here, we gotta pardon me, or was that the top one? was the top one, so let's put that one back flush. Put a little bit of clamp pressure on there. Alright, there we go. Now I'm right. Double check our lines. Alright, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and put some pressure on there. Now this is the top and that's the bottom down there. Now we're going to go into the same pilot holes that we had over here and just start a little pilot hole in the shells. Let's see, can't get to this one. Let me move this clamp over some. There we go. Now these are 1.5" screws. One in each one. Now, do the same thing on the other side over there. Then I'll get a damp rag and wipe off this glue that squeezed out. Make it easier for the sanding here in a little bit. Alright, we've got the screws in place, so we don't need the clamps anymore. just to hold it all straight and square. And that's what it's going to look like. We can wipe that excess glue off best we can. Slightly damp rag. You never see it anyway once all the stuff goes on there and the stain. And if anybody does see it and say, there's some glue right there, you don't want them in your house. There's something wrong with them. There we go, spice rack. Now I'm going to sand it off a little bit by hand. Just knock these sharp corners off. And then I'll put some finish on there. And we'll see it when it's all done. Pretty cool. Alright, I forgot something. Now this is the back and the top. And what I want to do is put these little blocks right here, just in case I have to fasten it to the wall. It's top heavy or something like that, and I think glue will be plenty to do that. Stick it in place here. Maybe it'll stay there for just a second. Clamp it on there. I think that will hold it just fine if we even need it. I'm not sure we need it, but better do it now. This is the same walnut. Show you what I'm doing here. Same walnut, everything else is. That's what shop aprons are for, is to wipe excess stuff on you. There we go. That'll be just fine. Now, next step. Let's get the camera moved over here. You can see what I'm doing. Down, down, down. There we go. Now we're going to fill these holes that we talked about earlier. Put a little bit of glue on this dowel. Stick it in there like that. And take the little back saw. Hang on, let's do it right. There we go. Keep it from moving around so much. Now, do that to all of them, And then at the end I'll take the belt sander and knock those off smooth. Won't take but a little bit for that glue to dry. There we go. So forth and so on. Alrighty, we're getting finished up with the spice rack. Putting a coat of clear lacquer on here. Just putting it on with a brush. I think one coat will be enough, but might put two. We'll wait and see. Let it dry a little bit. Like I said before, this once she gets it in the kitchen and put up where it's supposed to go, you won't never see the most of it anyway. But because it'll be full. This is about twice the size of our other one. And if it's not big enough, I'll build another one. That's a good thing about this lacquer. It's dries to a high gloss. Very easy to put on. And it smells pretty good bit when you're putting it on. But once it dries, all that'll go away. It's not like regular wood stain that will smell up the house for 2 or 3 days. And it'll take a couple of hours, and I'll take it in. I gotta do the sides. All right, there you go. Still got to finish up a little bit, but what do you think? I think it can come out good. Now, the next time you see this will be in Mama's very first cooking video, which is going to be probably one day next week. Missed a spot. We are debating on what she's going to do first. So, there you go. Spice rack for the kitchen. Done. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support. Paintbrush is up, and I'll see y'all next time.